In the vacuum of space, your hardware isn't just a tool, it's a lifeline. What if you could carry a modular, open-source ground station in the pocket of your flight suit? This is the Clockwork UConsole. It looks like it was pulled straight out of an Apollo-era control room, but it's running the same Linux backbone that powers the International Space Station and SpaceX's Dragon. Today, we're moving beyond the desktop. We're taking this computer to track live satellites, simulate rocket launches, and see if this is the ultimate everyday carry for the modern space explorer. Systems check, green. Let's head to the launch pad. Let's first see how we constructed this device. The build process starts with me opening up the nice looking box that I received from Clockwork Pi, which has the outline of the UConsole on the right and the information on the left. So it comes with stickers and the instruction manual, and the whole body of the UConsole is made of metal. There's a keyboard membrane and keyboard mesh, and obviously screen and everything else is included. I first put the screen, membrane and keyboard mesh, as well as the trackball in, which I later put on the upper metal plate. Next, I screw in all of the 6 screws around the top to make sure it's secure. Then I flip it over and I get the Clockwork Pi main board. But before that, I put in the power button. I screw in the main board and I get prepared for the next step. I get the CM4 adapter and I take out my Raspberry Pi Compute Module 4 and attach it to the adapter and slot it into the slot. Then I put the Wi-Fi antenna on and slot it into the slot, which I struggled to do for a bit, but eventually get to it. Once I've got it slot in, I get the speakers out and put them into the according slots for them. Then next, I get the speakers adapter, I would say, I don't know what it's called, but I slot it into the slot and put it on top of the speakers. After that, I get the battery module, and before that I first slot in the screen's FPC cable. I screw in the battery module and secure it into place. Then I realized that my batteries are left in my PicoCalc, which I've already made a video about on this channel. So I get those batteries out and then I slot them into my UConsole. Then I get the thermal pad and put it above the CPU to make sure there's good cooling. And put on the back metal plate and screw it in. Next, I get the hinge and there's 3 screws for this hinge. One on the left, one on the right and one in the center of the back. This is so that you can flap it up and down. Now I need to get the operating system on the microSD card, as I'll be running Raspberry Pi OS Trixie, which Brex on Clockwork Pi forums has thankfully made a good version. I load it onto the microSD card and we'll see what happens. Ooh, successful! There's a boot screen. There's a suspenseful wait, cursor pops up, and we've got the setup screen. That was an overall successful build process. Alright, let's peel back the hull and look at the reactor core powering this mission. For this build, I'm treating the UConsole as my primary workstation, my main computer. To make that work, the hardware needs enough thrust to stay in orbit without the system stalling out. Inside, we're running the Raspberry Pi Compute Module 4. I specifically chose the 4GB RAM LPDDR4 RAM variant. Now, I know that some people go for the higher spec modules, but I actually opted for the 4GB version because I love the challenge of optimization. I'm all about tweaking the operating system and stripping back unnecessary background processes to make the machine run as efficiently as possible. It makes the main computer experience feel much more rewarding when you know you've tuned the engine yourself. At the heart of the module is a Broadcom BCM2711, a quad-core Cortex A72 processor pushing 1.5 GHz. While it isn't warp speed compared to a full desktop, for a specialized, ultra-portable deck, it's a remarkably stable engine. It gives me just enough headroom to run a full Linux desktop, keep a browser open for documentation, and have several terminals running in the background without hitting a lag-induced asteroid field. The viewport is a 5-inch IPS display running at 1280 by 720 resolution. Because that 720p is packed into such a small frame, the pixel density is tight. Everything is incredibly sharp, which is mission critical when you're staring at lines of code or config files for hours. For communication and uplinks, we've got dual-band Wi-Fi 5 and Bluetooth 5.0. Just a heads up, that rugged aluminium shell looks like a spacecraft, but it acts a bit like a Faraday cage. It can dampen your signal if you're drifting too far from the router, so I usually stay close to a base station when I'm doing heavy data transfers. The real beauty of the CM4 setup is the modularity. The UConsole is designed so that the brain can be swapped out. If a more powerful compute module launches in the future, I don't have to scrap the whole shit. I just upgrade the reactor core and keep flying. As for power, we're fueled by two 18650 batteries. In a main computer scenario, where I'm pushing the CPU and keeping the screen bright, I'm seeing anywhere from 3 to 5 hours of flight time. It's a solid, focused session before I have to dock for a recharge via the USB-C port. Before we continue, if you want to see more of how I'm optimizing this rig, or you want to share your own build progress, make sure to head over to our community subreddit, which is Astroxia_SRT. It's the best place to track the mission and talk shop with other enthusiasts. Now, let's dive deeper into why this little machine is a dream for space nerds. First, check out this case. I grabbed this off AliExpress for a few bucks, links in the description, and it honestly feels like a fairing protecting a high-value payload. It's rugged enough that I don't hesitate to toss it in my bag, which is key because I'm increasingly using this UConsole as my actual daily driver. We've all seen OpenRocket, but I need to emphasize how well it runs here. Usually you'd expect a handheld to chug when calculating complex flight stability or center of pressure, but this thing handles it like a dedicated workstation. Installing it via Snap on Raspberry Pi OS is a one-liner, and once you're in, you're basically a flight engineer at SpaceX. You can swap out an ESTS motor for a high impulse aerotech, tweak your nose cone geometry, and watch your apogee shift in real time. The fact that I can do full-scale aerodynamic simulations on a device that fits in my jacket pocket is exactly why this has replaced my laptop for daily tasks. It's not just good for a handheld, it's a capable Linux PC, period. Then there's G-Predict. If you're into satellite spotting or amateur radio, this is your bread and butter. It's not just a map, it's a real-time orbital mechanics engine. You can use it to predict the exact second the ISS or NOAA weather satellite peaks over your horizon. What's wild is that because UConsole is a legitimate daily driver computer, you can actually hook up to an SDR, which is a software-defined radio dongle, to the USB port. G-Predict will then talk to your radio to compensate for Doppler shift automatically as the satellite hauls across the sky. It's basically a portable ground station. When I'm just chilling, I love pulling up flightclub.io. If you haven't seen it, it's a high-fidelity launch simulator and visualizer. Seeing the 3D trajectory of a Falcon 9 re-entry rendered right here on the 720p screen is gorgeous. The Chromium browser on this device is snappy enough to handle the telemetry overlays without breaking a sweat. And for the downtime, if there is such thing in space exploration, I'll be sinking hours into Endless Sky. It's an open source space, trade and combat sim. Since the UConsole has those built-in gaming controls, feels like it was made for navigating star systems. It's a perfect example of the device's versatility. Productivity tool by day, Galaxy Explorer by night. But where this thing really earns its keep as a daily driver is out in the field. If you're into astrophotography, you can run INDI or K-Stars to control your telescope mount and camera directly from the UConsole. No more lugging a heavy laptop into the damp grass at 2 AM. And for the model rocketry crowd, this is your mobile mission control. You can head to the launch site, plug in your flight computer via USB or Bluetooth, and scrape the telemetry data right there on the pad. Whether you're analyzing barometric pressure from a recent pop and shoot or verifying your GPS coordinates before a high-power launch, having a full Linux environment in your hands is a total game changer. Model rocketry enthusiasts can also use OpenRocket for simulations pre-flight. I think people underestimate the UConsole. They see the retro futuristic look and think novelty. But when you're actually typing on this keyboard, managing files, and running heavy aerospace simulations, you realize it's a robust, portable workstation. It's the first time I felt like I didn't have to sacrifice power for portability. At the end of the day, the Clockwork UConsole isn't just a gadget. It's a statement. It proves that we don't need a massive desk or a server rack to stay connected to the cosmos. Whether you're a developer, a radio enthusiast, or someone who just wants to feel like they're sitting at a console in Houston, this piece of hardware delivers. It's modular, it's open source, and most importantly, it's yours to break, build, and blast off with. Just remember, this device can do significantly more than I've stated in this video. But as a space-focused channel, I've only focused on what appeals to space enthusiasts. If you've got questions about my specific CM4 setup, or want to show off your own mobile ground station, head over to Astroxia_SRT on Reddit. The link along with the gear mentioned today is down in the description. If this mission report was helpful, hit that like button and subscribe to join the crew. We have plenty more space and UConsole content coming down the telemetry line soon. This is Astrox, signing off from Mission Control. Keep your eyes on the stars and your systems green. See you on the next flight.